Ken grew up in Los Angeles and graduated from the University of Southern California School of Architecture. After years of corporate hopping, he and Shirley established roots in South Florida and opened their architectural firm in 1979. As a member of the American Institute of Architects, Ken served the Florida Association of the AIA as chairman of the Growth Management Committee and instituted the Florida Design Assistance Team Program for communities. Ken has received extensive training as a professional facilitator and coach, as we have seen already here in our club and Rotary. His unique visioning workshops have been performed for cities, university departments, nonprofits, and corporations. Ken joined Rotary in 1995, and as a member of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise, at the district level, Ken led the district visioning workshop and served as a district trainer. Excuse me. He was named District Rotarian of the Year. I did not know that. That's worth bragging about for sure. District Rotarian of the Year, and served as district governor in 2005, 2006. Ken and Shirley married in 1965, had a daughter, Amy, son, Matt, and 4 grandchildren. Shirley graduated from Pepperdine University with a degree in education. After several years teaching elementary school, she joined the architectural firm as the office manager. And I think Ken has often admitted that if it weren't for Shirley, he would have never been able to find anything around the office or functions. The wind beneath your wings, Ken, right? Shirley's a past president of the Rotary Club of Boca Raton Sunrise. In addition to her club service, she has served as district chair of youth services. She was chief of staff for District Governor Ken and served 3 additional governors. They both have a deep passion for Rotary and are focused on a Rotary vision for the next 100 years. Wow. All right, let's all welcome Ken and Shirley. I will tell you one thing before Ken starts. Normally, we are telling everybody, please unmute yourself. Well, this is the one time I'm going to make sure everybody is on mute, because as Ken and I practiced yesterday, he'll be showing some videos, and if there's any other background noise, then the video doesn't work so well. So if you find yourself on mute, but you didn't put yourself there, just accept my apologies in advance. So, Ken, take it away.
Thank you, Candace. And I'd like to welcome everyone to this presentation. And I'm going to now share my screen, and with the help of technology, it will happen seamlessly.
Here's a big echo.
And you can tell it's been crunched up, you know, and I am not a frou-frouing girl.
Okay, has everybody got a screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Candace. Welcome to all of our guests. It's really great to have our district governor nominee and someone from Florida, where we spent 40 years in Boca Raton. So welcome to Cliff and Med. And let me start by giving you a little bit of a perspective on this program called RotaKids. In 2002, Shirley and I became very involved in our district. And I was asked to facilitate a workshop for the youth services program. At that workshop, RotaKids was identified as a program that the district wanted. Shirley, with her education background, became the youth services chair, and we began to form a committee to pursue the possibility of a program for elementary school students. So let me proceed with the presentation of RotaKids. Since this program basically was initiated in District 6930 between the years 2000 and 2002. And Shirley and I became what we refer to as cheerleaders for the program. The best way to tell you what RotaKids is all about is to show you this video. It is from Rotary Great Britain and Ireland, and you'll soon see that this area of the world has the highest concentration of RotaKids clubs. So let me play this video. Can you hear that?
My name is Steve. I'm the president of Church and Oswald Rotary. So you'll get 30 bucks in there. We've been at the Church and Oswald station today. The RotaKids is in there as well. And what the RotaKids have done is they've built cat boxes, bird boxes, hedgehog boxes. Today, for example, in the past, we've been installing those in the station grounds, and the kids have been involved with that.
And if you can pause that for a second, I have one suggestion for you. I'm sorry. We're hearing both your and Shirley's audio. I'm not sure which one you're using for your presentation. Can you mute one of them, or do you need both?
Yes, let me start over and make sure that this works smoothly.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of feedback, and I just wanted to, it's a really good program, and I wanted to make sure we could hear it properly. Thank you.
About environmental welfare, how it's actually helping the community, helping the plants survive. RotaKids, we have 4 separate RotaKids, 2 of which are in the one school. We've got 2 classes, 52 in total, and they come along to many of our lunchtime meetings, so we're integrating the youngsters into what we do. And it might sound a little bit odd because they're obviously a lot older than they are, but they really enjoy it.
Are you alright? Are you both alright? Are you? That's lovely.
The Rotary people themselves are really accommodating. They enjoy them being there. And the teachers bring them along and they're quite excited about it as well.
My name is Tina Wilkinson and I'm the head teacher at St Andrews in Oswald Twistle, and we became a corporate member of the Rotary Club about 2 years ago. Obviously we don't want to bombard Rotary Club with children every week, but now and then we bring different ones. It's an experience and they absolutely love it because they feel like they're coming to a castle for the day, which is
I know, it looks like walking in, I thought it was like, it reminded me of a Harry Potter castle.
I think from my point of view, we've always wanted to help the community and raise money for charity, but what it's helped us to do is really structure our approach so we can find out about different projects that are going on locally. But another really good thing for us as a corporate member is to have all the people from the Rotary Club coming into school to visit the children. The most important thing for them is to meet the Rotarians, really, because hopefully it'll be something in the future that they want to get involved with.
And it helps people all over the world as well, so it gives us an opportunity to help. And we like to help. There's 2 different classes and we all love Rotary.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine now. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so the question is, what is RotaKids? RotaKids is a Rotary Club sponsored program for children ages 12 and under. RotaKids is typically a partnership between a Rotary Club and a local elementary school. A RotaKids club can be any combination of age groups or the entire school. The sponsoring Rotary Club agrees to provide support and guidance based on Rotary International principles. What do RotaKids do? Well, the first thing they do is learn the RotaKids pledge. As a RotaKid, I endeavor to be fair to all, to serve my community, and to show respect for others. RotaKids, together with school advisors, create their own community service projects. RotaKids explore their community needs and identify projects that they can accomplish during the school year. There can be one large yearly project or several smaller projects. Each grade level can adopt their own projects. The RotaKids Club elect officers just like a Rotary Club. RotaKids learn the concept of service above self, organizational skills, self-reliance, and teamwork. RotaKids connect with Rotarians and learn about the family of Rotary. The history of RotaKids. Florida District 6930 leadership held a workshop to create a vision for youth services in 2000. And as I said, I was fortunate enough to be the facilitator for that workshop. The concept of Rotary cradle to grave was identified. The elementary school age students were identified as a way to nurture future citizens and Rotarians. Between 2000 and 2002, a youth services committee was created, agreed on the RotaKids name, and the program was born. Shirley actually was the chairperson of the Youth Services Committee at that time. A Rotarian and graphic artist named Steve Hall created the inspiring logo. And as I might point out, this terrific logo, I believe, is one of the reasons why RotaKids has grown throughout the world. Rotarian Jane Mills became the district RotaKids chair and started the first RotaKids Club in Jensen Beach, Florida. And again, Jane Mills was so inspired by this program that she actually contributed to it also being spread around the world. So this is what has happened since 2002. Now, I found these graphics on the internet. I don't know when they were produced, but it gives you some sense of where RotaKids is today. Over 3,000 kids, over 180 clubs in 77 districts in 24 countries. Now let me show you graphically where all these clubs are located. This is North America. You can see, surprisingly, that there are not a lot of RotaKids clubs in the US. And there are just as many maybe in Mexico also and Central America. The blue arrow indicates where Florida is, where the first RotaKids club was started. This is South America. If you know anything about South America and Rotary, you would know that Brazil is one of the most significant Rotary programs in the Rotary world. And you can see that the RotaKids clubs are highly populated throughout the Brazil area. There's also a high concentration of them in Peru on the west coast. There's also RotaKids clubs, as you can see, in the islands. In Europe, Africa, and India, there are high concentrations of RotaKids clubs. There's a general cluster in Africa. In India, as Candace pointed out, India is a very, very thriving area for Rotary, and there's a high concentration of RotaKids clubs throughout the India country. And in Europe, you can see that that is actually the the highest concentration of RotaKids clubs in the world. And I believe it is primarily due to the Great Britain and Ireland program, which I'm going to give you a little more information about. That Great Britain and Ireland actually has a unique governmental structure in Rotary in that they have their own identity. You may see that the acronym RIBI, which is Rotary International Britain and Ireland, they have embraced the RotaKids program, and they publish a lot of documents on how to start a RotaKids club. Examples of RotaKids projects include tree planting, lake and park cleanup, recycling initiatives, fundraising for local charities, helping the elderly, supporting homeless shelters, anti-bullying campaigns, health and wellness workshops, pet care awareness and wildlife conservation projects, partnering with Rotary clubs on community service projects. So how can RotaKids and Rotary have a win-win? So let me summarize the essence of Rotary this way. There are 7 Rotary areas of focus, and I hope you've memorized the 7. Children, education, environment, economy, disease, water, and peace. There are 5 avenues of service: club service, vocational service, community service, international service, and youth services. And in youth services, there are Interact, Rotaract, Youth Exchange, and RILA. And RILA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. You can see that what's not included is the elementary school age group. The RotaKids program provides Rotary clubs an opportunity to mentor elementary school age youth. Students can learn about Rotary and look for opportunities to connect with Rotary youth service programs as they mature, which I feel is the key to what RotaKids is all about. RotaKids start youth on an early path of service above self. So just in case I rattle off the 7 Rotary areas of focus and you don't know what they all are, this is the way I remember the 7 areas of focus. Remember the phrase, sow the seed of world peace. And in this case, seed is spelled C-E-E-E-D. Children, education, environment, economy, disease, water, and peace. And if you want extra credit, you can actually memorize the actual phrases that Rotary uses as they identify those 7 areas of focus. So if you search RotaKids on the internet, you will find hundreds of images of RotaKids programs. So I've just captured a few of them to give you a little feel for what you can find on the internet and see how pervasive that the RotaKids program is around the world. This is the US. I like this one in Nigeria because it's a wall banner that highlights RotaKids Club helping kids grow into responsible citizens. If you've ever searched the word RotaKids on the internet, you will be amazed at how many Facebook pages there are. So this particular Facebook page is actually titled RotaKids Around the World. And I follow these and a couple of others, and I'm amazed at how often they post really interesting things about what's going on in the RotaKids world. This is probably the most unique one, and maybe you can relate to. In Nepal, which is the north side of India, there is an e-club. And as you can see, they sponsor a RotaKids club, the RotaKids of E-Club of District 3292. So to wrap this up, I'd like to play another video from the Great Britain area of RotaKids. And this will give you a really good feel for what RotaKids is all about. Okay, so I hope that inspired you about what RotaKids is all about. And let me close by telling you a story. When I was preparing this presentation, I thought about when I was in elementary school in 1950. I thought, what if I had experienced the RotaKids Club? And I had discovered what Rotary was all about. Now, in 1950, Rotary was already 45 years old. And there were many Rotary clubs in Los Angeles where Shirley and I lived. And if I had been in a RotaKids club and learned about the possibility for that being something that I could belong to my entire career, I don't know what my career path would have been or where it would have taken me, but all I know is I finally was introduced to Rotary in 1995. So from 1950 to 1995 is 45 years that I didn't know about Rotary. So fortunately, since 1995, I've loved my experience with Rotary. And I thought, if I had been in a RotaKids club in 1950, here's what I would have wanted to learn. All human beings want to be inspired. Language is a gift. The right words inspire the spirit. Live for the privilege of contributing to others. Power comes from empowering others. You are seen by your commitments. Embrace listening to all points of view and always count your blessings. So that's RotaKids. Children want to be inspired. It happens when they become part of the Rotary family. And RotaKids is the future of Rotary. Shirley and I are lucky enough to have been at the creation of RotaKids in District 6930 in 2002. And if you haven't guessed, these are photographs of what we looked like 20 years ago. So Candace, if you'll help me facilitate questions and discussion.
I'll be glad to do that. I'm sure that folks have some questions, but first I want to say, Ken, what an inspiring presentation. Thank you very much. You've been sharing with us the idea of RotaKids, but to see it in action and to see those kids, it's really lovely. Thank you for you and Shirley for your dedication to this. There was a comment that Sue Poss made in the chat. I know that I shared with you that I would let you know what's in the chat since you couldn't see it. And rather than read it, Sue, would you be willing to share what your experience was with an elementary school level Rotary program?
Well, it wasn't my experience. It was several clubs in the Greenville area did have something called Early Act First Night, and some of those who are still living in Greenville might know more about this, but it was a character building educational program that the clubs did in elementary schools. As I said in my message in the chat, it was discontinued because at least the Greenville Reedy River Club discontinued their project because the school started its own character building program. So I don't know if any clubs are still doing it. Maybe Dave has more information about that than I do now, but this is something that has gone on in our district. I just don't know if it's still happening now.
Yeah, I can speak to that as well. There is, to my knowledge, there is no early act, and I'm not sure what the difference is between early act and RotaKids, but I'd always heard it called early act, but it is for elementary school teachers or elementary school kids. My only experience is with my daughter who lives in Indiana. She's an elementary school teacher, and she ran an early act program there in conjunction with or supported by the Rotary Club of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So, but I'm not aware of any early act programs in our district. Obviously, there's a lot of several clubs that work with the elementary schools, but they're not called early act programs.
Thank you. Ken, I know you and I have talked about the differences in what RotaKids and Early Act might provide, and I think you have some background or some thoughts on that because it can be confusing.
Yes, let me, is it okay if I stop sharing here?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes, I can tell you a little bit about that. Early Act is very similar to RotaKids. Frankly, I don't know how many Early Act clubs there really are and I don't know how extensive it is around the world. I do know that Early Act is a much more structured program. And as far as I know, it doesn't necessarily promote Rotary as a program, where RotaKids is a very conscious effort to integrate Rotary into the program for the elementary school kids, and so that they would learn that when they get to middle school and high school, they can continue their relationship with Rotary and its program. So, and I believe that that's, of course, one of the reasons why it's been so popular around the world. For whatever reason, it didn't continue as Early Act. All I know is that with the proper leadership, RotaKids thrives, as we've seen in these countries that have strong leadership for the program.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It is intriguing how RotaKids has not caught on fire in North America the way it has in the rest of the world. And I'm curious what your thoughts are that. Maybe just lack of awareness among Rotary districts and clubs of what RotaKids is. You know, knowledge tends to gain momentum when you've got something around, sort of like what Sue mentioned about Early Act, having an awareness of Early Act from another experience.
Right. Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I actually asked my favorite source to find out what the history of RotaKids is with respect to Rotary. So you know what my favorite source is? AI, ChatGPT.
I thought you were going to say Shirley.
If you ask ChatGPT about RotaKids and when it was approved by Rotary International, you'll be amazed to see that it was actually approved by the Council on Legislation in 2013. So I said to Shirley, why is it that they don't promote RotaKids at the district governor training? As far as I know, they don't. Now, I do know that there are a lot of Rotary clubs. If you search Early Act on the internet, you will find that there are a lot of districts that actually promote both programs. So I don't know why the districts actually have both programs on their website, but all I can say is, in my experience, the RotaKids program is more intentional with respect to its relationship with Rotary. And I don't know why Rotary International doesn't make it a training, a module at the international level and at the zone level.
All right, thank you. One thing that was in Sue's comment that I found particularly intriguing was, even though the Early Act program in the Greenville area did not continue, one or more schools embraced the concept and then sort of created their own program around it. And I would suspect that the values and the resources were very closely aligned with where they started with Early Act. And I guess I'm of the opinion that that's probably okay. The message is the message. And if the schools need to embrace it in a different way that fits their needs, it gets at the flexibility that we like to offer everybody. But the providing a pipeline at all age levels within Rotary, I think, is something we do need to take a harder look at.
If any of you have ever heard of Kiwanis,
Oh, yes.
I know that may not be the kind of word that you use in conversation in a Rotary club, but Kiwanis actually has very, very advanced programs for youth. And they have a K-Kids club for elementary school kids also. Now, one of the things that I might ask Julie Tovey if she's available is the Boys and Girls Clubs do similar kinds of things. But the difference is that there is no continuity of relating to an organization as you grow older. And I think that is the powerful thing that Rotary has to offer, is that since we have the programs for middle school and high school and college and beyond, it seems inevitable that we should have a very powerful program for elementary schools. And as Great Britain and Ireland has proved, I mean, they are totally immersed in the RotaKids program, as well as India and Brazil. So why is it that those countries have discovered, those Rotary countries have discovered that RotaKids is absolutely the best program for Rotarians? So I think it's all about leadership at the Rotary International level, and we just have to get the message out of how valuable this program is, both for the kids and for Rotary.
Thank you, Ken. It is encouraging that even though it wasn't RotaKids, that there is some foundation for this work at the elementary school level.